Hey everybody, today I want to talk to you about replacing your internal power connector on your LX or M series flasher. There's two things that you're going to need prior to starting this process. The first one is going to be a Phillips screwdriver to take out the 8 screws on the back of that cover to allow you to get inside to replace that connector. The next thing is going to be a pliers. This is going to allow you to loosen those lock nuts that actually come on that connector. So moving over to our LX3 TCI here, I've already loosened 8 screws to get into the back of that system. So I'm going to remove these screws. We're going to set these aside. And now looking at this back cover, you're going to crack this back cover nice and carefully. And looking on the inside of this cover, there's going to be your power connector as well as your transducer connector right here. You can remove both of these from the board by just pulling up. And there's going to be 2 pins and 3 pins in each one of those connectors, so be sure not to break those when you're taking them off and putting them back in. Now that we have this off, looking at the back, you have your gasket here, which helps seal that system and create a watertight seal in there. We're going to replace our power connector. That's our 2-cord connector here with the black and red, your positive and your negative. So looking at the back again, you're going to have a lock nut here. All you're going to need to do is take that lock nut, unscrew it, and then this is just going to pop right out. We're going to set that aside. We're going to grab our new power cable. There's going to be a lock nut with that. You're going to have to take that off. And then prior to putting this back in, there's going to be a flat spot on your connector. That's going to line up with the flat spot, as you can see here, on your back cover. So I'm going to line those two up. Perfect. And that slides in as such. And then I'm going to take my lock nut, tighten that back down. I'm going to take my pliers. And this just needs to be hand tight. You don't need to really crank on it, otherwise you'll possibly strip those threads. And it's just as easy as that. Now we just need to put everything back together again. So moving back over to our flasher system, I'm going to connect both of my cords again here. I'm going to take my 2-pin power connector, slide that right onto the board as such, and that goes straight down. I'm going to take my 3-prong transducer connector, and you can see both of those slide down nicely. I'm going to take that back cover, make sure my gasket is seated correctly all the way around that flasher. And then I'm going to take my 8 screws again. I'm going to drop these back into their respective slots. And as you can see, on this screw, there is a plastic washer that also helps keep that system watertight. So you don't want to lose any of those when you're taking them off and putting them back on. After I screw all of these down, I'll put everything back together in the soft pack, connect my battery and transducer, and I'm ready to go fishing. If you do have any more questions, visit us at MarCumTech.com.